Hey, Jonathan from GameSpot Asia here. I'm here with Torfi and Eva from CCP, and they just showed us DAS 514. So tell us, of course, EVE Online, the game that it's matching the worlds or universes with, is on PC.
Right.
And DAS 514 is a PS3 exclusive. So since there are a lot of people who play the game on EVE Online on PC, I don't see the logic in that. Could you help me elaborate more or less?
Well, I mean, EVE Online is part of the EVE universe, and we really wanted to expand the EVE universe and open it up to a broader audience. And to open it up to a radically new audience, we felt that going console would actually allow part of the gaming community, which previously hasn't really been able or kind of interested in playing EVE Online, to experience that universe. So it felt natural to go with the biggest console. Sony are a great partner. So that is kind of the reason why we chose PS3.
So what actually makes a DAS 514? How do you get the concept of doing an FPS rather than following other genres?
We are all fans of FPSs. We love playing things like Call of Duty and Battlefield and those games. And we've always wanted to, when flying around in EVE Online, you have these 60,000 planets, and there's nothing to do on them except some industry. And we've always wanted to go down on them. What does it look like? What are you going to do? What are you able to do? And we started thinking about it, and it makes sense that you are fighting in mercenary wars, like ground-based warfare, really gritty, and the FPS genre just fits perfectly into it. So it's very much vehicle-based, but it's also running around as a character, capturing installations on the surfaces of planets, and it just felt natural kind of to do it, and then to take that gameplay and connect it directly into the EVE Online universe.
Right now we're trying something out called Skirmish 2.0, which is an iteration of the old Skirmish game mode. We have added a bunch of weapons and modules for further customization. The controls for the dropships have been it's been made a lot more challenging to actually fly them, to make them more hardcore and feel difficult to play. So you actually need some effort into being a good pilot. We're also doing a lot with the vehicles, like the vehicle handling, the vehicle feel. So they're supposed to feel a lot better now. Corporations are coming in. Players can form corporations that even EVE players can join. So it will be the case where you can either join a corporation in EVE or create your own one in Dust and have EVE players actually join that. We also made huge improvements to the squad system. So now players are able to create squads and join battles together.
So I understand the game itself, EVE Online, is pretty hardcore. It's been around for a long while. So how are you going to preserve the hardcoreness of DAS 514? Or is it going to be more beginner friendly in a sense, but later on it gets more and more a bit dangerous for players, especially since you can lose your items in this game?
Absolutely. So when you start playing the game, you actually don't lose your items. The cheapest militia items that you use are actually endless, replenishable, and you can do matches in high security space, which actually don't have a lot of risk entailed in them. But as you want to go deeper into the game, you start taking more risks, obviously. And Dust, Ivar can describe this better, but Dust actually borrows a very large chunk of design philosophy from the hardcore element of EVE Online and puts it there, available for the console crowd now.
We have, in Dust we also have the concept of high security space, low security space and nullsec. Nullsec being completely player controlled, of course. Players will have to buy or purchase for in-game money, ISK, very expensive outposts and stuff that they then place on planets to both benefit the Dust corporations and the EVE corporations together. There is definitely a lot of risk involved when your whole territory can be just blown up by other players or taken over.
So with the game being free to play, what are the microtransaction options that players can buy with the money, the online money they can get?
We have side grades of modules. So we have been very clear on that we aren't making a pay-to-win game. So it's basically based more on convenience. So it's shortcuts. So you don't have to spend as much time to actually gain access to the ORM items. We also have boosters that basically allow you to gain skill points a bit quicker. And we also have a thing called a universal voice transmitter, which allows you to directly communicate with EVE players through voice.
Finally, will there be any esports thing you want to do for Dust 514?
I think that's on our roadmap, both in terms of esports, but in EVE Online, since it is a single universe, and you have thousands upon thousands of people together in alliances fighting for the domination of the universe, playing the game is a sport in itself. You don't need to be at the top of a leaderboard when you can be at the top of the world.